What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters: Marshall Selden, Sal Online, Lee Maths, Scrim, Sky, Luis A. Sandoval, Derek Perry, Alex Santana, Connor Fergus, Rodney Warnock, Ulfra Nord, Marble Hornet, Adil Javid, Megan Andrews, James Rukibwa, Tobias Gladden, and GXR7. Thank you all very much for your support, and if you want to support us on Patreon, feel free to click the link down below in the description to find out more. We'll see you there. Roommates can be fun. I mean, I've got a good one right here.
I'm not very fun, but yeah, I'm a roommate.
So says he.
I think you're fun.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun.
You're like one of the only people that knows metal bands that I play. Like, you're just like, is that band? And I'm just like, holy crap, you know who this is?
Sometimes you get me on some. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you know a lot more than most of my friends do.
And I've also we also have two other roommates who live up on the tippy top floor, Chad and Nikki, who they're some fun to hang out with. I mean, we just got back from watching Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and they went along for the ride, and they had some fun with us and everything.
One of the perks of Nikki living here is sometimes, like, or a lot of the times I walk in and I'm just like, this house smells delicious right now because she cooks stuff that just smells so tasty.
Yeah.
Cooking some cool meals.
Yeah, but roommates, sometimes roommates are awesome, and other times you have some roommates that make you wish that you lived alone.
I've had that before.
And you wish to God and wish to all eternity that you'd never have to deal with anyone ever again.
Yeah.
Because I've had to deal with that several times.
Luckily, I've only ever had two roommates, and both of them were really good friends, and it was not a bad experience either way. So
I was hesitant.
Dude,
the worst thing was like I couldn't get a chance to do the damn dishes to save his life. So, but other than that, it was fun.
Well, fair enough. Okay. My first roommate I ever had was my buddy Clint. When we moved in together, I was just like, this guy seems really cool, and he was. He took care of himself. I had a good first roommate. My next roommates were not so good. One of them, well, actually, I'll say this: two of them were drug dealers, but one of them was dealing some really heavy stuff and was selling it to our next door neighbor, who was a recovering addict and was trying to keep custody of his daughter. And I'm just like, dude, you need to stop selling to this guy. I mean, he can't help himself right now. I mean, and eventually it got to the point of where they stopped paying rent. Didn't tell me that they had stopped paying their rent, and I went over with my amount that I owed, and I said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm out. I really wish this could have ended differently. So yeah, that was my second roommate, and then I pretty much lived on my own for the next few years, and then I remembered I got a call from Ben, I think it was, and he said, "Can Quinn stay at the house for a little bit until they can find a place to." Until they can find a place to live on their own. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that'd be cool. And then Quinn moved in, which I was okay with, and because Quinn pretty much minded themselves and kept the room in good shape and everything. And I'm like, okay, this is all right. And then we moved from that house into this house. Quinn moved with us, and we also had another roommate move in, which there's a whole rigmarole about that I don't want to get into, because for some people that wound is still fresh, and me, I really don't care to talk about it, but I don't want to go into it here because it's just the whole thing.
Yeah, it's unnecessary to bring up, really.
Yeah, so I've had a spotty history with roommates, so my thought on roommates are, if you're gonna get a roommate, try and find a good one. Try and find one who can take responsibility and take care of themselves and don't have to be told to do everything. That's what you need to look for.
As much as I know that it's impossible not to, sometimes I don't really recommend being roommates with someone who you haven't known for a while at least, and who you haven't seen like how they live currently. Like if you can see their living conditions and stuff ahead of time, and be like, all right, well this person's not a trash monster or anything, so that they should be okay. Like someone you already get along with.
The biggest thing is drama. So. If they're very dramatic, they got drama in and out of their life all the time because they're letting it. I don't let drama in my life that much, and if it does, it don't stay for very long.
I try my best to stay the hell away from it myself.
Yeah,
I do too.
Still finds me sometimes, and I'm just like, nope, I'm out.
Oh, it's the people that do that really do bring it into their life, and they let it stay in their life. I'm like, no, I will X out family, I will X out friends, I don't care. I will do whatever it takes to get drama completely out of my life, and I will not associate with it.
And that's fair.
Having that, people need that mindset if they're really like caught up in the middle of just, oh my god, it's always something in my life. I'm like, well, yeah, it's because you're
then move the hell out.
Yeah, change something.
Exactly. Well,
let's see what this dude has to say.
TheOdd1sOut did a video called "My Thoughts on Roommates." It was requested to us on our Discord, so I figured, hey, let's give it a shot and see what they got to say.
See what the old marshmallow man has to say.
I never really understood trigger words until I got roommates. I hated my roommates. Except for you, Isaac. He watches my videos. Oh, James, you didn't hate your roommates. You just mildly disliked them. Yes, I did. When I first moved out of my house and went to college, the day I moved into my apartment and I opened the front door, this is what I saw. Keep in mind all the buildup that has gone into this moment. First, I had to get accepted into the school, then pick my major and classes. Then I had to find an apartment close to the school and get everything set up there. Then I had to pack everything up into a suitcase, kiss my dogs goodbye, and then be all on my own for the very first time. I opened the door to where I'd be living for the next 8 months, and this is what I see. Someone sleeping on a couch. He was wearing some bright fast food employee uniform. The TV is on. There's a Halo 5 poster hanging on the wall. The sink, counter, and table is full of dirty dishes. There's a big industrial-sized trash can that is overflowing. Inside the fridge, there is an empty box of Dr. Pepper, a bottle of ketchup, and a jumbo Costco-sized pack of hot dogs. Where did all these dishes come from? Fun fact, those hot dogs were still in the fridge
that ain't there anymore, I guess.
But the worst thing that was there was about 1 million basketball cards just lying on the floor. I'm not even exaggerating, here's proof. Okay, so I got a single room because I brought all my drawing stuff, and I would feel bad if I shared a room with someone and he had to deal with all my drawing stuff being there, and also I wanted to be alone. Looking back, I'm so glad I got a single room because that room couldn't even fit myself. Literally, I could stand in the middle of the room, hold my hands out, and without moving my feet, I could touch the walls of the room. Maybe I just have long arms, I don't know. I mean, I could settle for a small bedroom, but what made living there so horrible were the roommates. What I didn't realize is that these boys also got private rooms, so that means that they too were socially awkward and kept to themselves, which you might think is a good thing, but you'd be wrong. On the first night of being by myself, I unpack all my drawing stuff and I set it all up. Then I turned on the computer and the screen is just black. Nothing was turning on. I tried everything to fix it and it just wasn't turning on. Eventually I contacted the people who made it, sent it in, and then I got it back working. But during that week while the tablet was being fixed, like, seriously, no joke, that was probably the worst week of my entire life. I'm being serious, making comics and YouTube videos was what kept me sane. And that first night of being on my own and my tablet broke, I cried, guys. I couldn't even eat food, I was that sad. I hit rock bottom. I remember just watching Captain Sparkles and Game Grumps highlights all day. But then the day I got it back, I was a drawing machine. I posted a comic the very same day. So let's spend the rest of this video talking about these previously mentioned roommates I had. The first person I need to talk about is Isaac. He was the only one that I like, and he's also the only one I told that I made YouTube videos. Now this boy wore Obey hats, he vaped, and he said stuff like, "That's dope." But you wanna know why I liked him the most? Because he did the dishes. Like, me and him did the dishes. It wasn't just him, okay? I'd probably never become friends with him in any other circumstance. Just wanted to say that he was the cool one. I like him. Hi, Isaac. I miss you. I was looking at this post on the internet, and it was where the old memes are today. And for the after picture for the Scumbag Steve meme, it looked exactly like my roommate, who I'll just make up a fake name for, Steve for convenience. I'm pretty sure I was roommates with a meme. Just put a fedora on this meme, and boom, that's my roommate, Steve. And it was a very fitting meme, too. This guy wouldn't do the dishes. He always cooked this ramen thing in the microwave, and would leave this gross juice stuff behind. So that when I would go to use the microwave, it would get my paper plate soggy. So I would have to check every time before I used it to make sure there was no juice stuff behind. And also at night, he watched anime without headphones, subbed. Anime has a certain sound to it. I don't know if you knew that.
It does.
It's like normal Japanese, but really emphatically. Luckily, it was usually late at night when he started watching, so I would just have to get to sleep before he started and I would be all good. James, why didn't you just ask him to turn it down? I did! One night I went into his room and I said, hey man, can you turn it down? And you know what? He did turn it down for that night. That night. That one night. The very next night... But you know, he wasn't too bad. He would spend most of his time in his room playing video games, and I would spend most of my time in my room drawing. So except for the microwave juice thing, we didn't get in each other's way too often. Here's actually a funny story. So when I was filming the part in the vegan video when I crumpled up Oreos over Reese's Puffs, Steve walked into the kitchen and he saw me filming this sugary vegan concoction, and I just said to him, don't ask. Okay, so here's the roommate that I hated the most. His fake name will be Hunter. He was the one asleep on the couch when I first walked in, and he was the one who had collected all those billions of basketball cards. Just basketball cards. And he kept them all in the front room. What's the point of having sports cards when you can't even play with them? I mean, I spend money on Magic the Gathering cards, but that's because it's an actual game that you can play with friends. What do you do with sports cards? I mean, I guess you can leave them in the front room of your apartment. Yeah. Maybe one day your roommate might make a video about it, though. He left his Mountain Dew bottles on the floor. He farted in public. He would always complain that Steve didn't do the dishes, but he wouldn't do the dishes either. One time I was tired of doing everyone's dirty dishes, so I bought a big stack of paper plates for everyone to use. But Hunter took the paper plates to a party without even asking me, and he didn't even bring them back. But the worst thing this guy did, one day he told me, my ex-girlfriend doesn't want our dog anymore, so he's coming to live here. What? So this boy wants to bring a dog in an already very small, cramped apartment. I couldn't believe this. The dog's name was Snoopy and I loved him. Hunter would put him in his kennel at night, but one night I was like, hey Hunter, Snoopy can stay with me if you want. And then boom, from that day forth, I was the one taking care of Snoopy. Snoopy would now sleep in my room, I would be the one who took him out for walks, and I fed him slices of lunch meat. What was great was that when I would go into the kitchen and Hunter would be watching TV, he would call for Snoopy, Snoopy, Snoops, Snoops. But he wouldn't come. This dog would follow me everywhere. And then one day Hunter said, hey, do you just want to have Snoopy? I was going to get rid of him. And then I said I would take him. And then later that same week, Hunter moved out. He took all the toilet paper too. He basically gave me a...
Okay, that's an asshole move right there.
No doubt.
That's a dick move, man.
A dog. And of course I loved that dog.
Aww.
But we lived in such a small space and I was always busy with school and drawing. I knew these weren't the best conditions for a dog to live in, and I'm pretty sure my apartment didn't even allow pets. So I asked people I knew if they wanted Snoopy, and my grandma got one of her friends to take care of him. So I dropped Snoopy off and I've never seen him since.
No.
And that's it, the end.
I've had to do that
There was
before.
another roommate who I didn't even mention. He always worked a lot, so I didn't really see him too much. He had an electrical toothbrush, and I think since I was already mad at my roommates, when I would be trying to go to sleep and he would start brushing his teeth, I would hear the electrical toothbrush going, and I would just start shaking with anger, like, just use a normal toothbrush, too! Also, I want to thank you all for 1 million subscribers. I mean, as I'm recording this, I don't have 1 million just yet. But hey, when this comes out, maybe I'll have 1 million, who knows? I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, and there could be another YouTube purge. But the next video will probably be the 1 million one, so cool. Okay, thanks for watching. Wear your seatbelts unless you're my roommates.
Hi, Snoopy. His name's Snoopy.
What a good doggo. I do have a little bit of information. I know you probably won't watch this video, James, but in case you do, I've had it personally. Some people have to use an electric toothbrush because they get like their gums to the point where if your dentist does anything, like scrapes your teeth with the little pick, you know, like touches up against them at all, your gums will bleed. And if you use an electric toothbrush, it gives more stimulation to your gums in between dentist appointments that it stops that from happening all the time.
Yep.
And they said like it's an early warning of like gum disease, so like it's recommended highly that you use an electric
They're not
toothbrush.
very loud. The electric one that I had was not loud at all.
No, mine wasn't very loud
I'll
either.
just be courteous and close the bathroom door, and hopefully it wouldn't be that loud.
I mean, hell, it's not gonna be louder than running the sink water.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Sink water.
It's just more of a frequency that's a little disturbing than compared to sink water, which is kind of like white noise. But
yeah, roommate,
it's like a psh as opposed to.
I've had some great roommates and I've had some sour ones. So.
Well, I'm glad for one thing. I'm glad that whenever I moved in with Clint, he brought over some of his kitchen stuff and everything. He even brought over a I kid you not, a microwave that survived Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, wow.
Because his family used to live in New Orleans. Well, Zachary, Louisiana, which is just outside of New Orleans. And they lived in this house that they had to abandon because, you know, they were told to, you know, leave because, you know, there's a good chance the levees were going to break.
Well, it's a good thing they did evacuate. They
well,
actually listened.
And then they came back, and when they came back, they found out that their house was destroyed. Not just flooded, demolished. This house was gone. And the only thing they found of the house that
microwave.
It was the microwave was rolled off to the side, and it was just sitting there amongst the grass. Now, Clint said he picked it up on a whim, thinking this is the last thing of this house that's still here. I'm gonna take it, and we're just gonna go. And he takes it and he puts it in the RV that they had. And they didn't have a microwave in their RV. You know, they'd been cooking stuff, broiling it in the oven and stuff like that. He puts the thing up on... It had a huge dent in the top of it, too. And he plugs it up, and he twists the dial, and it works.
Damn.
It works just like that. And Clint's just like...
It's like a GameCube.
I am never getting... Yeah, exactly. He's like, I am never getting rid of this thing now. This thing will now permanently be a staple in every place that I live, every place I live
I'll just worry about it having a big dent in it, because, like, what if it, like, damaged the integrity of, like,
of the heating,
the seal and everything, and, like, microwaves would actually escape from it when you're cooking stuff?
The dent was in the top. It was like a ping dent that was like that. It wasn't like anything that broke
like
the
bend
seal.
In the outside or anything.
Yeah, no. It didn't have a crack in it or anything like that.
If there's not the negative and positive ways in between, it can't do anything. So microwaves can't actually escape out. They could, but they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
fair enough.
But yeah, you see, that's the whole thing. That's I saw that. I was like, dude, you still like this thing survived Hurricane Katrina? He's like, hell yeah, and I'm like, damn, man, this thing is awesome. And that was our for the 1 year we were roommates. That was what we used to microwave our food.
You remember what brand it was?
I think it was a General Electric, GE.
Yeah.
GE, yeah.
It's like if it's still a company that's around, I would like tweet at them on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
And be like, just so you know, you had a microwave that survived Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, it's like
and
the
it
company
still works.
Frigidaire.
So good job.
Some of the Frigidaire refrigerators, some of those older ones from like the early 50s. Those damn things will last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them,
And a lot of them are lead lined, and they survive. And the contents on the inside can actually survive.
I thought it was funny on the Indiana Jones scene.
Well, that's bullshit.
I know it's bullshit, but it's kind of like a play on just like how reliable much of a tank they were. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You would have to have the inside like very squishily padded for that to work.
Well, I mean,
like you would break your neck.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You would die.
That would not work, but it was kind of funny.
You would absolutely break every bone in your body inside that thing if it got chucked like that.
My legs.
Yeah. Plus, that just would not stop a nuclear blast.
Yeah.
Well, no.
The radiation would go clean through it.
No. Through lead, not as much, especially at that distance. You see, lead shielding can actually last a fair amount, even very close to like an exposed nuclear core, which is ridiculous.
Don't they use lead for containment, like on nuclear reactors and shit?
Lead is actually one of the primary protectors against nuclear radiation.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's actually a funny story about the scrubbers who went to work in Chernobyl to clean up after it was all said and done. They actually found these lead-lined things, and they actually tore the lead off of it and like hammered it out and got it put together with Scotch tape and like with tape and everything, and they wore it as protective cups. It's like this will protect your balls from the radiation. To which they're just like, that's one of the most Russian things.
But you always also have lead near your balls, which can't be good either.
Well, lead if you ingest it. If you ingest lead.
So it's just funny that you use like one hazardous material to protect against a way
It's like asbestos,
material.
dude. Asbestos for the longest time was very heat resistant and all that. But then all of a sudden, people started breathing it in and ingesting it. Next thing you know, cancer.
You start putting it in houses and stuff for installation and.
You or your loved ones have been affected by mesothelioma. Call the law offices of blah 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 blah.
Of Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan and Morgan.
All right.
Gene Cochran.
Gene Cochran.
Jing,
That's it,
jing.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I've seen so many of those damn.
Says here
commercials.
you are,
God.
Like those and the Cash Now commercials are the ones that I remember the most. That
I
are
have
really-
a structured settlement, but I need cash now.
Call JG Whitworth. 877 cash now. 877 cash now.
877 cash now. They have solutions and they'll help you too. Sorry.
One lump sum of cash they will give to you.
Sorry.
So,
So-
got them
If
stupid
you
settlement
get long-term
commercials when she
payments,
opens up
but
the
you
window.
need cash now.
and I need it now.
to which there was actually a parody of that. There's actually a parody of that. She actually opened up the window, put her head out, like, it's my money and I want now. And the guy on the ground just goes, shut the fuck up and get back inside. And then she's just like, okay. And just shuts the window. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
They were
The
funny
timing.
commercials though, like the big
Yeah.
guy on a subway with a.
I got to give it to them. I will never forget that phone number.
Yep. Well,
Nope.
you know that's not their phone number no more though. They lost that.
They screwed up on that
They
one.
did. The 877 part's still same, but it's not cash now anymore.
Aw.
That's something else, but
877 cash never.
Because that was a genius way to get people to definitely remember that phone number if they ever need you for something. So.
Yep.
So I definitely
that's
remembered
marketing
it.
in its finest states.
Yep.
So make it memorable. Kind of like Hump
And I
Day.
didn't hate the commercial like
I
when it
didn't
came
either.
on. You know?
I didn't either.
Like-
I mean, like, yeah, it was like, Mike, guess what day it is?
It's Wednesday.
Hump Day! Yeah!
All right, we've got.
Also, like the when you guys did it at the same time and it cracked me up, it was like those Seckies. Stay thirsty, my friend.
Yes, so good. I can't believe we nailed it that
Yeah.
good. I actually went back and watched a lot of those most interesting man in the world videos. It's like he once had an awkward moment, just to see what it felt like.
Also, the messing with Bigfoot commercials cracked me up.
Messing with
Some of
Sasquatch,
those
yeah.
are great.
Sasquatch, yeah.
Yeah, those are.
They've got all of them
good.
online. They've got the ones that
Yeah.
were removed too, because there were some of them that were really like violent and funny. Like one where that dude like smashed the dude's head in the rock. It was like, oh, boom! Just smashed his head into the rock and he was dead. It was like everybody ran. I was like, that's violent as fuck.
My favorite is the pemmican beef jerky one.
Yeah.
Is like spilled my beer. My girl left me, and it's like all this.
Oh
is happening,
yeah,
right?
when you talking about the
And-
gun on the wall
Yeah,
falls
the gun
down,
on the
shoots
wall
the
falls
dog.
down and shoots the dog. I'm
Oh,
like, Jesus
no.
Christ!
That one is screwed up.
It's
The
funny.
censored one wasn't any better because it was a deer head falling down and
Yeah,
crushing the
killed the
dog.
dog.
And
It's
you
like-
just hear, at least I still got my dog.
It was, oh no.
I also still love the dude that fights the bear too. And the bear
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, the salmon.
Yeah,
winds
the,
up his fist and does
Yeah.
that. It kicks the bear in the nuts and it's like, oh!
I like the condom commercial in the grocery store. It's like a European one.
The kid.
He's in line. That kid's like, yeah!
Oh, yeah.
Screaming, and he's just
use
like,
condoms.
it was just like condom.
That's a genius commercial
That was-
too.
Yes,
Great.
it is. That's honestly some of the funniest stuff.
Honestly, seeing people's kids act like that in public has definitely convinced me. Like, you know, it's like I'm going to be so careful. Like,
Well, yeah. I as far as I know, I don't have any kids running around. I mean,
I don't.
I haven't received
either.
any phone calls. Just be like, Nate, I think you might be the father. Instead, I've gotten one or two calls just like, hey, Nate.
You ain't got my DNA to prove that, so.
Well, and here's what I'll say. It's like, and they're like, hey, Nate, when was the last time we were together? And I'm like,
Never.
I'd
You've got me
say-
mixed up with somebody else.
I'd say about 2 years ago. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she hangs up, and I'm like, I wonder if she was asking me because she's got a kid now. Because she had a kid who was just about a year old. And apparently the guy after me, whoever the hell he was, got her prego, and that was that.
Yep.
Besides, even if you know, there was the chance that I was the father, kid looks nothing like me. Nothing like me. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, very pale skin, and I'm like, there's no fucking way in hell that is related to me.
Yeah.
Because look at me. Look at me. I know to you all...
Blackbeard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, black hair, black beard, tan skin, natural. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, we've rambled on enough.
Yeah,
I got to
the
get
conversation slightly strange.
Yeah. What do you expect? We're the
That's
Renegades. That's what we do.
rambles.
Renegades ramble. That's what we do. So again, everybody, thank you all very much for tuning in. And I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.